I'm out at the ranch again, just sitting on the tailgate, having something to drink and just enjoying a nice sunset and enjoying a nice evening. And I thought I would do a quick video for you guys about my experience with anxiety. I know that a lot of you have struggled with that. I certainly did. And so I just wanted to share a few things that I found really helped me. So back in 2020, whenever we were all experiencing the pandemic, I started having panic attacks and I couldn't figure out what was going on. At first I thought it was a heart problem. I wasn't really sure what was going on. But I found out later on that it was panic attacks. And so I started this journey of trying to figure out, how do I make these go away? How do I fix this? How do I make it stop? And so I ended up finding one of the best therapists that I could find, the best one that I could afford. And it ended up being a guy who had 30 plus years of experience, and I really trusted him. And he and I sat down together through a series of meetings and came up with a few things, and I just wanted to share those things with you guys in case it's helpful to you. So if you're struggling with anxiety, please know that there's hope and there's healing and things are going to be okay. It's all in our head. Sometimes it's a physical problem that we need to go to the doctor and get fixed. But these are 7 things that my therapist came up with for me, and I hope that it's also helpful to you, okay? So the first thing was to avoid heat and direct sunlight. If I get too hot for too long, it just causes me to start panicking. And, we linked it back to something that happened in my childhood. I was in a hot car for a little while. And so basically, my adult self was experiencing panic attacks whenever I would get too hot and stay too hot. And everybody's different, but that was kind of my thing. So I really have to watch how long I'm out in the heat for and how long I can go out in the sunlight. So the second thing that I learned was that I needed to stay hydrated, and I needed to sleep well, and I needed to exercise. So that was actually 3 different things. I had no idea that a man my age and my size needed like 125 ounces of liquid every day, of hydrating liquid. I didn't know that. And so I was just drinking a ton of caffeine and other stuff. And whenever I started hydrating myself, I started feeling better. So sometimes it's something as simple as that. Getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep, that's really important. I was getting maybe 2 or 3 hours every night, and I didn't even realize what was going on. But I was just dragging throughout the day, and I was having mental health issues with depression and anxiety, and I just couldn't figure it out. But once I started sleeping better, things got better. And then also exercise. I joined a gym. I got my cardio going, and that really helped with depression as well. I noticed a big difference with that, but also anxiety, because the 2 go hand in hand. So hydration, sleep, and exercise. The third thing that I learned was to stay close to those who love you. So the people who care about me, my wife, my daughter, my family, I need to stay close to those people. I can't just isolate and do my own thing. There's a lot of healing that comes in community and being around people who care about you. So please don't isolate. It just makes everything worse. So the 4th thing that I learned was every morning whenever I wake up, I need to start telling myself the truth. What do I mean by that? Whenever I first wake up, I'm assailed with all these lies that come into my head about me having a bad day and letting everybody down and bad things are going to happen and just all this gloom and doom. And I, turn on social media or the news and I hear about everything bad that's happening, and it's just kind of a mess. And so I just have to take a quiet time every morning where I clear my head and I replace all those lies with the truth. What I use is Bible verses. I read my Bible every morning, and so I read Bible verses about what God says about me, as opposed to all these lies that I just get bombarded with every single day. And I found that that really helped me with my anxiety, because it helped me realize that God is in control of all this stuff that's going on, and not me. And that's a pretty welcome relief, because if I was controlling everything, I would make a mess out of everything. So the fifth thing that I learned whenever I went to therapy was, if you need it, get some good medication that works well for you. And you might have to try 2 or 3 or 4 of them before you find something that works. But don't wait to take it. If you need it, take it. Don't wait. Don't try to tough it out or man up or anything like that. That's what the medication is made for. And you might be on medication for a long time, and that's fine. That's what it's made for. So if you're struggling with anxiety, go to your doctor, see if they can prescribe you something that helps. So number 6, I'm actually not doing it today, but I'm supposed to limit my caffeine. I was just drinking way too much caffeine throughout the day. I found that it made me happy, it kept me going, it kept me energized, but it was also leading to panic attacks. So that's kind of an easy one. So number 7 is the last one on the list here. This is absolutely the most important one. And what my therapist told me to do was to pursue my purpose. So one of my purposes is to make these videos so I can hopefully help people like you who are out there struggling with anxiety and depression. And I help people who are struggling with addictions. I help them get sober and stay sober, and that's part of my story. Is I'm 14 years sober from alcohol, so that's why I do these videos, to let people know that there is hope and there is healing. My purpose is to love God, love others, and help other people who are struggling. So guys, that's about it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and pack up and get out of here, but I sure am enjoying this nice sunset out here at the ranch, and I appreciate you watching my video. Until next time. Oh, there he goes. This little guy right here. Guarantee you he's having a bad day with anxiety. He needs a Xanax.